In our previous class, we have learnt as how the convolution operation works on our input image. Now in this video, let's see how the concept of pooling layer works. So to start with, let's see how does this average pooling works. Now to understand this concept of average pooling, consider the output that we have from our previous class, guys. So this is the output that I have from my previous class. And this output that we see over here, that is output of the size 1, 3, 3, 1. The one that I have highlighted over here, this is the output that we will consider it. And we are going to apply the average pooling on this layer, guys. That is the output layer. Okay. Now if I represent this output in the form of a matrix, so this looks like a 3 by 3 matrix. Do you agree with me? See, this is a 3 by 3 matrix. Now, how do we perform this average pooling? So the way we apply this pooling is we are going to mention the kernel size. So let's consider the kernel size of 2, 2. So if I consider my kernel size as 2, 2, the way this average pooling would work is I'm going to place my kernel on top of this output layer. So in my case, since the kernel size is 2 cross 2, I'll place my 2 cross 2 kernel on top of my output. So this is how my first position of my kernel would be. And then I'll also mention my stride, and based on the size of stride, so I'm going to move my kernel on top of this output layer. Now the next question is, how does this average pooling works? The way this average pooling would work is when I place my kernel on top of this output, that is on top of the region on which I want to apply this average pooling layer, the system is going to compute the mean of every value that is present in that region. Now, if I want to say it in terms of mathematics, so what it means is I'm going to select the first 2 rows in my output and first 2 columns in my output, and then I'm going to compute the mean of this region, guys. So let's do the same, guys. So here in this cell, if you observe over here, I have written as tf.math.reduce_mean. So what this will do is this is going to take a matrix. In other words, it is going to take the tensor object and it is going to compute the mean. That's it. And it is going to return the scalar value. So for the region, I have selected as y : :2, :. So that means I'm extracting the 2 by 2 region of my output y. Okay. Now if I execute this particular cell, I have the output that says as 0.30. So this is the output that I'm getting if I apply this average pooling on my output y. Now let's do the same, guys. If you observe over here, I'm applying the average pooling on top of my y. See, I have written as average pool is equal to layers.average pooling 2D. So this is the function that we use inside the TensorFlow to perform the average pooling. So average pooling 2D, I have specified my pool size as 2, 2, which is the kernel size. And I have written my strides as 2. And I have also mentioned that padding is equal to same. Now once I apply this average pooling of y, that is once I apply this average pooling layer on top of my previous output, that is y, I have the output that says as 0.3040. And if you observe over here on top, I had got the same value, guys. See? So to recall, so the way this average pooling would work is whatever the input that I pass for this average pooling layer, depending on my kernel size, that is my pool size, the system is going to place the kernel on top of the input which I am giving for this average pooling layer, and then it is going to perform the average of every values that are present in that region. That's pretty straightforward, guys. And depending on my strides and depending on the padding, it is going to do the same operation by moving along left to right and top to bottom for each of the image input. The next concept that we have in case of pooling layers is max pooling. So in case of max pooling, the way it would work is similar to the average pooling, guys. The only difference is the system is going to return the maximum value of that particular region. So in case of average pooling, we have seen that, okay, this is going to compute the arithmetic mean. But in case of max pooling, the system is going to return the maximum value of that particular region. So in my case, the first region that I have highlighted just now, the maximum value over here is 1.42. So as a result of applying this max pooling layer on top of this input image, then as a first output, I'll have the value as 1.42. So let's observe the same in the output, guys. So if you observe over here, see, I have the output that says as 1.42 as a first output, that is the first value in my output. So this was about pooling operations on the input image, guys. So let's continue more in the next video.